What's up, loungers? I hope everybody is doing great this evening. Shout out to all of y'all who will be tuning in for this show. I've got a lot to unpack on this show because I actually listened to Breaking the Culture's show from the other day, and with Shakim Ra on the show. And I want to react to one particular, well, actually, about two things that she said and that he talked about in this video. Most of it was just talking shit, so I can just ignore most of that shit, okay? But either way, and I skipped through a lot of it too. But either way, there is two particular things that I am definitely going to address, okay? And I am going to show why I'm addressing that because for some reason, I think they just didn't watch the video from the other day. Either one of them did when everyone else did, but I don't know why they didn't. So I'm going to need them to watch this video. And yeah, but even if they decide not to, they're going to go ahead and watch the confines of what I'm going to play tonight. I'm only going to play portions of it tonight, even though I played the full two Zoom calls that I actually have in my possession the other day. I didn't edit those calls. I didn't try to take anything out, remove anything. Everything is exactly how it was. Everything is exactly how we talked about it in the Zoom calls. So I have both of those still posted. I'm going to show portions of that tonight. And I'm also going to ask these two weirdos why they don't remember these conversations because they were talking on this panel as if they were not on these Zoom calls, okay, having these conversations in regards to money and in regards to the 80/20 with the podcast. That was something that was very clear on these Zoom calls and who talked about it and so forth. The only part that is not clear is the Zoom call that Breaking the Culture has, which is she has a couple of them. She has a Zoom call and she actually has a Teams call where we talked about the structure of the business. We talked about how we were going to build the business and so forth. All of those things have not been released to the public. And those are the things I would like for her to release because then that would prove everything that I'm saying. But again, of course, she doesn't want to do that. She wants to try to release things and say things as she feels like it without releasing actual facts and actual evidence. So again, all I can do is show you guys the evidence of what I have. And I can show you guys again how both of these weirdos knew about this whole money situation. They were very aware of it. And Breaking the Culture is the one that broke it down to him. So I'm going to show you guys that again for those in the back who missed that. And for, because clearly they missed it. So I'm going to show you guys again who have missed that particular thing. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at her video also and just kind of react to that because I've got a couple of things that I wanted to respond to with that video. And then we're going to go ahead and look at these Zooms and take a look and see who knew what and who didn't. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead without further ado and get right into that.
It's Black Lounge Entertainment, and the time is right with T-Pre.
I'm going to share my screen now. So bear with me one moment. And what it was Breaking the Culture. So hold on one second, guys. Breaking the Culture had a video with Shakim Ra. And in the video, they talked, like I said, they talked a whole bunch of dumb shit. I'm not going to get into all that fuck shit because who cares? At the end of the day, like I said, show evidence of all this bullshit you're talking about. It doesn't matter. I can show evidence of everything I'm saying. So I don't have to pretend and say one thing and mean something else and do all this stuff. You know, at the end of the day, I can show proof of you guys actually knowing everything that you guys act like you don't know. Okay, so let's go ahead and without further ado, let's play Breaking the Cultures portion of this video. And let me guys just make sure that you guys can hear it. Make sure that you guys are also hitting the like button on the way in.
You are welcome to be here.
Oh,
You
so
are allowed to
let's
hit that
let's
link.
first
I don't know. Oh wait, let me
address
see.
this. So hold on, let me go back a little bit because she said something really dumb. And I hope you guys can hear it. Hold on.
I was like, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, I'm just flabbergasted at all of this.
Yeah,
I don't
me
know.
too.
Let me see what the chat talking about. Let's see if anybody else had anything to say. Heels, a blazer, some beautiful earrings, and a necklace could easily dress up any outfit. Correct.
We all know Liz Martin
I'm
is
behind on the
AAS.
chat. It's just one of the pictures. She said you wouldn't send her. No, this was a behind the scenes picture that I took of her. You can see the guy in it, but no, it was a behind the scenes.
So what she's basically saying right there is that she was taking photos of me and I didn't know it. She was purposely taking pictures of me that I didn't know about and then blowing those pictures up and making it look like I'm this big old fat ass crazy ass looking bitch. Like that's what she did with those photos. And I never received any of these professional photos that allegedly were taken. So I wanted to address that because that is weird that you would be taking photos of me and I'm not even aware of you taking these pictures. You're just taking sneaky pictures. That's like really stalkerish and really weird. And for you to admit to doing that is even stranger. Okay, so I'm glad you admitted to that and how weird you are in doing shit like that, but that was very, very strange of you, Andrea, to do something like that and to be doing things like that. For what? You know what I mean? It's clear that you had a different mission. I mean, these are all you're showing yourself for who you are. It was very clear with you doing things like that you had a particular mission for why you would like me to be there and why you wanted me to be in close proximity to you so that you can do this kind of stuff and set me up and take photos and disparage me with those photos and do all those types of things. So this pretty much solidifies even more of what I've been thinking. You know that you've been working with Andrea Stewart, and that you've been trying to do all kinds of weird stuff to get me and Shakim set up. So thank God Shakim wasn't in the photo shoot because you would have photos with him too of in weird places and taking little photos of him and probably posting them all over the place and doing whatever you want with those photos. So yeah, that speaks volumes about you. But let's go ahead and continue with this.
Shot. They said my mom's will never show up to an interview looking like that.
The chat was ruthless, of course.
Looks like Danny Glover's stunt double from Predator 2 on lunch break.
Y'all know the chat ain't shit.
I don't know. This whole thing's crazy. Do we want to keep listening or do we think that everybody got the point, got the hint?
I think everybody
Hold
got.
on. Shout out to my opinion because she said, Miss Murph, like I said, I'm confused. I guess it depends on who's with who telling what. Ain't that some shit? Because wherever you're sitting with is who you decide to side with at that moment. That's what it sounds like, Shakim, and Breaking the Culture. So one moment, if you're sitting with me, Shakim, you say one thing, which we're about to see. And another minute, when you sitting with her, you try to say something else. But then when we're all together, everybody knows everything. But then when y'all are together, y'all act like y'all didn't know any of this stuff and what is going on. And T Pre did all of this. And oh my goodness. And yeah, so let's go ahead and let's move on real quick.
The point, and then I will be going live too for whenever we get the recordings. I think that'll be another great show. So maybe we'll give them a part 2. What you think?
Now, what do you mean by whenever we get the recordings? Because Breaking the Culture has a copy of 2 of the recordings. She already has them. Plus, she has what I had. So she actually has all 4 of the Zoom and Teams meetings recordings already. So what are you waiting on? I'm not understanding why she hasn't released that to you already, or why she hasn't played it already. Because I played 2 of those Zoom calls already to the entire sector. And mind you, I played them unedited. I didn't edit anything out. I didn't cut anything. I didn't take anything out. I didn't try to sneak anything out of it or any of that. I played them exactly the way they are. So no, sweetheart, the way you said on Binary Show the other day, shout out to Uncle Albert, the way you said on that the other day, like I'm not showing this and I'm not showing that. What have I not shown? I've shown every part of those conversations. The only thing that I don't have is the video of you and I breaking the culture, talking about the business structure, how we were going to structure the business, how we were going to put the business together, how Shakim's role was in the business, what we were going to do with him. He's about to get to this part I want to address, because he says something about a document showing the breakdown of payment and how I created this alleged document. I want to see you show the sector. Now that this evidence is now on you now, because you be backing yourself into these corners, okay? This is unfortunate for you. I want you to now show evidence that you got any type of document from me showing any type of breakdown of any kind of payments or any type of information regarding payments. Show that I sent you an email, a text, or something, because Shakim is saying there is a document. Okay, he said document. So I want to see where you got that document from, breaking the culture, because you are presenting a document to Shakim telling him that this is from me. Show evidence that I sent you that, because I would have had to send you a document. That means I would have had to email it to you, mail it to you, text it to you, something, for you to have a document from me that you are able to forward or send to Shakim. If you haven't forwarded it from my email, because that's what I do. When I send evidence of stuff that you have, I forward it. I don't send something to somebody. I can forward it, because then that shows evidence of the date, the time, and everything that I actually sent that to you. And so you should be able to show Shakim where I sent, what date, what time. You should have all of that. You should have my email address and everything connected to that, showing that I sent you such document that you are able to now present to Shakim. So that is the other thing I wanted to speak on regarding that. Let's continue.
Yeah, why not? I say we can. Yeah, let's do it. I'd be down to do it. I mean, because we know she's gonna do 10,000 more lives anyway. So it's like, why not?
You knew I was
Right?
gonna.
We know
You knew
that
I was gonna
within either
address
she'll go
it.
live tonight or she'll go live in the morning because she's watching right now.
So, by the way, breaking the culture, I want you to take a look at this right here. Honey, I am not subscribed to your channel, okay? I am not subscribed to your channel. I wish you well. I see you got 44 likes on this video. I wish you well. But, baby, I am not subscribed to your channel. So I don't know when you're going live. I don't know when you're live. I have to be told about your lives, or I have to come back and take a look and, maybe see if there's a live. But I didn't do that. I was told about this live. So no, baby, I was not in the clouds. I was not in the bushes watching, listening, or any of that. And you guys both have my phone number and can text and could email and could call and say, hit the fucking link. So you telling these motherfuckers out here on YouTube that I need to come up and hit your link when I'm not even aware that you two bitches are even online. You understand? Like, how much of a narcissistic bitch do you got to be where you think I'm actually watching you and I actually give a fuck that much that I'm paying attention to what you and him are saying? I was not even aware. Literally, this was what, 2 days ago? I just found out maybe like an hour ago about this video. No, so yeah, this is why I'm doing a reaction to this. But to let you know, I'm not subscribed and I won't be subscribing. So I don't know when you're live or when you're not. Okay, so you can stop summoning me to your chat unless you plan on texting me or you plan on emailing or something to tell me, hey, I'm live. You can hit the link. Other than that, bitch, shut the fuck up. Because no, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay? Okay? Okay. Let's continue.
Yes.
So we know you in the bushes, Glover. You can come out. This is a safe
Nope,
space,
I
even for
wasn't
the
in the
haters.
bushes, baby.
You are welcome to be here.
But
You are
thank you
allowed to
for
hit that
welcoming
link.
me
I don't
to
know.
your thank you for welcoming me to your dungeon. Okay, but no, ma'am, I wasn't there. Okay, just to let you know, I was not there.
Wait, let me see. I done forgot to drop the link again. Hold on. Let me drop it. If anybody want to come up, you guys can come up.
This bitch
But yeah.
actually
Oh, so
dropping a
people were
link for me.
asking
I
us
wasn't even
to
there.
address the 80-20 thing.
So this is what I want y'all to hear.
I guess people were wanting to know if you even knew about that. Like the because I guess allegedly she won't mention the pay or she hasn't addressed the pay. Everyone's saying that she's like basically like trying to skate over the pay.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad they brought that up. No, I never got that document until you sent me a copy of it. And at first, I was confused because I was like, it would make more sense if I.
Again, breaking the culture of silence. What the fuck document is he talking about? I never had any type of document, Shakem. I never talked about a document. I have never seen a document. I never knew about a document or anything. But what's amazing to me is that you immediately believed this stupid white privileged bitch over a document, never even asked me about this alleged document, never asked her for any evidence or proof that this alleged document, how it came to exist and where it came to exist from, and whether or not I even sent such a document. Show me this motherfucking document. I dare you. And I hope for y'all, both of y'all motherfucking sake, that there is not a signature on that document with my motherfucking name. Because neither one of y'all know how I sign any motherfucking thing. So you better not have forged my motherfucking name on any type of alleged business documents, breaking the culture of silence, ma'am. Or you are going to have a big problem, ma'am. So Shakim Ra, I am looking forward to your receipt show showing this document with this evidence of this 80-20. I want to see that so fucking bad. Because again, like I said, I have never ever seen a single document. I have never asked or produced such a document. I have never put together any such document. I have never talked with Breaking the Culture about any such document or any such thing. So if there is a document with an 80-20% talk about or guarantee or change, I want her to produce evidence that I gave up that document, that is a document that I made, that is a document that I created, and that is a document that I even knew about. I want her, she is the receipt queen, right? I want her to show that. Because nigga, you jumped out the motherfucking window arguing me down and talking shit with me and feeling some type of way about me. And I couldn't understand where all this energy was coming from. And now I know. Now I see it. It's because she lied to you and showed you some fake fucking document claiming that this document is from me and saying that I am the one that changed up all these rules. But yet she showed you that in secret because she knew that if she showed you that in front of the public or in front of me, that of course I would give pushback and I would try to make her prove that that came from me. Because again, she would have evidence that it came from me. She would be able to say, yeah, she was here and she emailed this to me, or she was here and she texted this to me, or she created this and she sent this in the mail. She would be able to show you that. I know you didn't fall for no motherfucking document just given to you that just says, oh yeah, this is what T Pre said. Are you really that slow? You really that slow? You didn't ask for actual proof of that? No, you didn't need no proof, did you? You just trusted this bitch, right? After all we have fucking been through with this motherfucking bitch, out of all the motherfucking shit that we have seen, all the facts that we have come down to and come down with, you were able to be swayed by a fake fucking document. And I am standing on it being a fake document because, again, I have never seen anything that this bitch or you are talking about right now. And I'm going to rewind it because I want you to hear this motherfucking fuck shit again. You got me chopped.
This whole thing's crazy. Do we want to keep listening, or do we think that everybody got the point, got the hint?
I think everybody got the point, and then I will be going live too for whenever we get the recordings. I think that'll be another great show. So maybe we'll give them a part two. What you think?
Yeah, why not? I say we can. Yeah, let's do it. I'd be down to do it. I mean, because we know she's gonna do 10,000 more lives anyway. So it's like, why not? Right? We know that within either she'll go live tonight or she'll go live in the morning because she's watching right now.
I wasn't.
Yes.
So we know you in the bushes, Glover. You can come out. This is a safe space, even for the haters. You are welcome to be here. You are allowed to hit that link. I don't know. Oh wait, let me see. I done forgot to drop the link again. Hold on.
I
Let me
wasn't
drop
there.
it. If anybody want to come up, you guys can come up. But yeah, oh, so people were asking us to address the 80-20 thing. I guess people were wanting to know if you even knew about that. Like the because I guess allegedly she won't mention the pay, or she hasn't addressed the pay. Everyone's saying that she's like basically like trying to skate over the pay.
How can I be skating over the pay when I played the entire Zoom call with us talking about the pay? And you talking about the pay with him and him agreeing to the pay if we ever got paid. How am I skipping over that? Again, where the fuck is this document?
Oh, yeah, I'm glad they brought that up. No, I never got that document until you sent me a copy of it. And
What document? Or what document is she talking about? What document, Shakim?
at first, I was confused because I was like,
I am very confused, sir. What fucking document?
it would make more sense if I am, a co-host, that I would, get a percentage more so than an hourly rate.
How the hell would you have been a co-host if Breaking the Culture the entire time was saying and has said, and I have shown evidence of her saying that she did not want to work with you at all. So in her saying she did not want to work with you, I'm vouching for you, okay? In her saying she doesn't want to work with you, this is the reason why you were not a co-host of the podcast. Because if you were a co-host of the podcast, then it would have been a split amongst three people. The reason it wasn't a split amongst three people is because she did not want to work with you as a co-host. She has admitted that multiple times across multiple spaces in multiple places. So, what part of this goes back and falls on me if she is the one that's saying she didn't want to work with you? It's clear I wanted to work with you, because if I didn't, you wouldn't have been on the podcast at all, right? I wouldn't. If I didn't want to work with you, why would I be bringing you into the podcast? There were other people I could have tried to work with. There were other people I had talked to and everything. So if I never wanted to work with you, why would I even waste my time bringing you in? You understand what I'm saying? I wanted to bring you in because I found the value in you. She literally did not. I mean, and she says that. So I'm not sure how how do I become responsible for her feelings and her emotions? Like whatever she's feeling, I'm responsible for. I don't understand. At the end of the day, clearly I was vouching for you if I brought you in. If I didn't want you there, I wouldn't have brought you in. Now, later on in the deal, after you weren't giving us travel plans and you weren't responding to various things and different things like that, I didn't, you being somebody who would be working under me, I was saying, yeah, I don't know if we should continue with this, with certain things. Maybe we should have him on sometimes. Maybe we should, go ahead and split this down. And these are conversations we had with you. And Breaking the Culture in writing told somebody that. And I put that in, it was on an email. She sent that email to me, and I showed that to the public the other day. So I'm not sure why maybe you're not watching the videos. Maybe you're not looking at the actual evidence or whatever. Maybe you're not paying attention to the Zoom calls that you have in your possession, Shakim. Okay, but sir, I'm going to need you to just take a break and take a look at all of this actual evidence. Fuck that fake document. Okay, you can show that. Okay, because I really, like I said, I promise you, I want to see a fucking fake signature of mine on that motherfucker. Okay, now, also, I want you to look at all the other evidence. Go back and take a look for yourself. And then you're also going to take a look at this Zoom call that you were in, sir. Okay, when Breaking the Culture was talking to you about the 80-20. So I'm not sure why both of y'all are acting like, oh, why did T-Pre do this? And what happened? I don't know what happened, because both of y'all were there with me. And y'all were talking. I wasn't even talking. Like, that's the crazy part about it. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. But let me see if there's anything else you dumbasses have to say.
So it was her idea to come up with like an hourly wage, and then we disputed it. She tried to talk me down from like 50 and 60. She talked me down to like 30. And then eventually I just said, I don't even care.
Y'all just straight lied. Like Shakim, both of y'all are lying, because the Zoom calls literally show us talking about money. Okay? They literally show us talking about, if we were to make money, how much you would be offered. And we actually asked you how much. And then we talked about how much you would be offered. You guys are going to see all this. You guys are going to see these lies. Just y'all are just crazy, because it's clear y'all have not watched my videos.
Like, just give me 20.
It's very clear.
How about that?
And it's very clear y'all have not watched the Zoom calls that both of y'all are in possession of. Hello? Are y'all on the slow bus? Like, what is going on? Both of you niggas are in possession of these two Zoom calls that are on this video that I'm about to show.
So, no, I did not know. She never mentioned the 80. What was it? A 80-20 split or whatever?
It was
No,
80-20 because she and I each would have got 40, but we obviously still had to have a budget. So I was like, that gives us a little bit of room.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just play this video here, because this is the infamous Zoom videos that the bone carry. And we're going to go ahead and get right into this bullshit because these two niggas is clearly like I said, they spent that whole video just talking shit and not showing any motherfucking receipts as usual. And, just talking shit and just talking more shit. And then finally, Shakim mentioned that. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and go right to the evidence of these conversations because both of y'all niggas were there for these conversations. So what the fuck are y'all talking about? Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. And make sure, again, y'all are hitting the like button before I get into that. What's up, Muslim, and what you're going to do about it? I appreciate y'all for being in the building. Shout out to y'all. Let me go ahead and all 35 people in the clouds, hit the like button, please, on the way in. Let me go ahead and get into this real quick because, like I said, this is crazy. Y'all niggas ain't Gary just sit here and tell a whole bunch of lies and a whole bunch of fuck shit and knowing goddamn well that is not how this went. Y'all know goddamn well both of y'all were in on these conversations. So again, we'll go ahead and take a look again. Barrier is quote unquote. That was the reason why I sent that Zoom to you with that name. And hold on, let's go back. Is quote unquote. It's crazy. It's just like I said, I feel so guilty. Pennsylvania a day in my life, and that is where this alleged Tanisha was served, and that was not me. So no, she never served me. No. I don't know exactly where it is in the video, guys. So I'm just gonna play it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really fucking matter. But I'm not putting that out there like that.
Right, not until you actually need to. But by the way, Shakim, when you look at the contract, it's going to have my address on it. For you, you will have to update it. Like before you sign it, you'll have to update it with whatever address you want to use for yourself.
So just to verify, right? If her address is on these calls, right? How the hell is it that this contract was between me and Shakim? Because on Binary Show, she insisted that the contract was only between myself and Shakim. It wasn't, and on the contracts, it never said anything about a shout into the void or any of that. It was supposed to be me and Shakim on these contracts, but yet she said her address is on these contracts.
Mm-hmm. But for the momentary, I just gave you my address because it wouldn't let me complete it without an address.
And it's funny because her address isn't even on there. It was the 400 Broadway on there, okay? But if the contracts were supposed to be between only me and Shakim, then why wouldn't my address be on there? Why wouldn't she ask me to put my address on there to complete it? Okay? So cut it out, Drea.
Okay, got you.
Now let's break that down. If she is the one that's completing this address and sending it out, how is it me? How is this all on me now? Okay, you guys are listening to this in real time. Okay, so this is my video. How is this? This is my video from the other day, guys. All on me. If she is the one filling out the information and sending it to him, you guys heard that.
But you could always, because I'm sending them as PDFs. So as long as you have like the PDF downloader or whatever, or if you have DocuSign, you can always use DocuSign as well, which I would put in here. You haven't. I'll give you till Friday, but if you need more time, just let us know to go over them because the date is Friday. But if you end up going over that, just let us know so that way we can obviously change the date to match when we all sign.
Okay. Like if you could let us know by Thursday, hey, I need a little bit more time. I need to go over this, something. Let us know
I'm going to file it with the state. Like I'm going to actually have it filed so that way everybody is protected. We're protected. You're protected. I just want to make sure.
So she's clearly saying in this video, we are protected. You are protected. So if this is a contract that is only between me and Shakim, why is she including herself in this contract? Hell, why is she even in this meeting? If this is only between me and Shakim, and this contract is supposed to be only mine and his, okay? So I don't know why these dumbasses are trying to spin this dumbass narrative, okay? When we have the Zoom calls to show it. Period.
Sure that it's fair for everybody. You know what I mean? So we're gonna actually file the contracts. So that way, if you gotta sue us, you can sue us. If we need to sue you, we can sue you. But no one.
How about it should say, if you gotta sue T Pre, you can sue T Pre. If T Pre gotta sue you, T Pre gotta sue you. If it's a contract only between me and Shaquette, according to Breaking, the way that she's saying this on Binary Show, that this was a contract just between me and him, that her name wasn't even on here. It was just mine.
Suing anyone.
So you just heard her say she was going to file these contracts, not me. She was going to file you being in these contracts. You guys are hearing this, but it's all my fault. Right, we're not suing nobody.
But you know, you gotta put those disclaimers out there. But that way, you just know it's legit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll put please update. I'm just gonna put it in here real quick, just so you know. Please update your address, whatever address you want to use. If it's PO box, home address, I really don't give a shit. It just needs to be somewhere to where you can receive a physical copy of this contract, because it's gonna get notarized. So that way you can have a physical copy, but then you'll also get a digital copy.
So who, again, guys, you guys see who is doing all the footwork, who is doing all the typing, who is doing all the creating? It is Drea, not me. It is her. Let's continue.
Okay.
So the 1099 and all that paperwork, I think we have to get you a W.
Right. It will be a 1099. So as soon as you sign your contract.
So I want you guys to just pay attention and note that both of them are present for this conversation. This is not just me and Shaquem. This is not just me and Drea. This is me, Drea, and Shaquem in this conversation. Just note that real quick, okay?
We will send you over an official 1099, because you can actually, any money that you get from this, you can obviously claim it on your taxes, or don't claim it on your taxes. Totally up to you. We have nothing to do with that. But if you wanted to file taxes for this, you can. You will get an actual 1099.
Got you.
The reason that he would get a 1099 is because that would make him an independent contractor to the business, okay? A 1099 would mean that you're not an employee. That means that we don't offer you any benefits or anything like that, but you still have to comply with business rules, but you are a independent business contractor. You're a contractor to the business, but you're not an actual direct employee of the business.
So we can't send that until you sign the contract.
Right. Now, these were obviously conversations that myself and Drea had prior to this Zoom call, of course, because we had conversations to discuss business structure. We had conversations to discuss how we had planned for things to go. Certain things that, we expected as far as money, certain things we expected as far as opening up business accounts and so forth. All of that stuff was talked about in these other Zoom calls with her. Hold on a second, guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. And hey, Two Tones and Miss Murph. Appreciate you guys. Muslim. Okay, great. All right, great. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and continue with the rest of this BS, because like I said, for those of you who aren't interested, you're welcome to leave. That's just that. But for those who are, because I got like 40 people in the clouds, so it's very clear that there's people that are interested. So let's go ahead and continue with this. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to hear and make sure that you guys know that both of these mugs are in this conversation as well. Okay. And let's go ahead and continue.
So I believe all you need is just to update your address. I don't think there's anything else that you needed to update. And once we send over the contracts, you will have to, once we send out the 1099 and stuff, which I just sent you the contracts, once you get that, you will have to let us know how you want to be paid. Whether personally, I don't want to use Cash App if we can avoid it, because it's just hard for tax purposes for yourself and for us. It'll make your life a living hell to try to use Cash App. But if you want to use like Zelle, Venmo, or direct deposit, that's fine too. And I'll send you the form for that because you'll be paid. Like, we'll obviously go over that once you sign your contract.
So binary, I'm glad you said that, because actually I showed an email where she introduced the entire podcast deal to me. She introduced the entire podcast deal, everything we were doing, this entire situation. Which is funny because for some reason on Binary's show, she was still trying to say that I have been running around saying that this entire deal was mine. This entire podcast, the idea was mine, all this stuff. And I'm like, well, where is the evidence of all this? You could, like I said, you cannot just use your white privilege to just say whatever you want to say and then everybody just believes you. No, I mean, show this evidence and this proof that I'm saying all this stuff and I'm doing all these things. Like, I can show evidence of what you say. I can show proof of what you say. I don't have to lie about it. I don't have to make it up, right? So stop making up shit and just say, like, where I've show proof of where I've said all this stuff. Okay. And I'm waiting on this document that I allegedly have, and that I've allegedly given to you. And I want you to show that to Shakim, or that you showed to Shakim. I want you to show that to me. I want you to show that to the public. I want you to show proof that you got it from me. Facts. I really do. That is 100% facts. Now let's go ahead and finish with this. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, Ms. Murphy. You said, I may have missed it, but did you confirm that Shakim was your employee and or you would be responsible for Shakim? Yeah, we actually confirmed that together in this Zoom call. We confirmed in this Zoom call that he is the employee of the business. I think I may have to rewind it for you to hear that part. But I wanted you guys to hear the money part, and then I'll try to rewind that for you so you can hear it. All right, Ms. Murphy. So bear with me just a few moments, okay? Was from her. So it doesn't matter what narrative you try to spin. The actual evidence of all of this is there. I'll show it again. I ain't got no problem doing that. But we're going to go ahead and play this video right now. But thanks for saying that, because no, baby, no. This was totally her idea. She approached me with the idea, and she gave me all of the entire makeup of exactly how this podcast was supposed to go. So you can try to spin that narrative for her sake, but no, boo. That's not what happened. Let's continue.
But you will be paid, on certain times, certain dates, so you can expect your money when your money's supposed to be there.
Right.
Like, it's a legit job. Like, we're not gonna fuck you with your money. So it'll all be legit. So I would prefer, if you can, not to use Cash App. That's like the only thing I hate is fucking Cash App.
I won't be using. We can't use Cash App. That's just. It's not good for business.
It's just hard when it comes to tax purposes. It's
right.
Just hard to show where that money's coming from, because they're actually going to get paid through like payroll. Like, it'll be a payroll system that will.
So it wouldn't make sense, Ms. Murph, for him to be an employee of mine if he wasn't working for the business, because I was a partnership. It was a partnership, allegedly. If we had ever formed it, it would have been me as a partner in this business. So he would have become an employee of the business. I would have hired him into the business, just like any other managers would bring in other people to a business, right? They would hire them into the business. That person wouldn't be my employee, but yes, I would be their manager. Do you understand what I'm saying? They would be an employee of the business brand, of course. Yes, that's how we had intended for it to be. So yes, that's exactly what we intended. And that's exactly what we talked about on this video. So again, if something changed or if something was different, then they would have evidence of that. They would have proof of that. Not some secret document that she claims existed that I've never seen. She would have evidence that I physically changed information concerning the business structure and how we would structure this business and how he would be some type of employee of mine and all these other extra added narratives. At the end of the day, this man will, as you will hear in this video, was intended to be an employee, a contractor, an independent contractor of the business. And that, I don't know where else he would be an independent contractor for unless it was for the podcast, right? So yes, he would be an independent contractor for the podcast because Drea did not want him to be a partner of the business. That is the reason. So let's go ahead and let's get into it.
Pay you when it's supposed to pay you.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about us fucking with your money. You're gonna know when you're getting paid, who's paying you, what time of the day, typical job. You know how your job is, it's a payroll. But I sent it to you. Let me know if you get it or not. I don't know if I sent it from my regular email or if I sent it from the Break of the Culture. It came from
I got a NDA and a non-compete agreement.
correct. And both are just different contracts. We can go over them together if you want.
Yes,
now
Binary, you can't help yourself.
Or you can go over by yourself. It's up to you.
Okay.
And as you can see, I believe it's on the non-compete. You see my address under your name. When you go into DocuSign, just change it. And if you can't change it, if it doesn't.
Yes, in a sense, you can say that we would have been his client because he would have been able to bill us for work that he did for us. Yes, absolutely. As an independent contractor, he would definitely have been able to bill us for work that he would do. We did request and talk to him about an hourly rate. Independent contractors make hourly rates in various places. So we did talk to him about that. But again, all of this is on this call. So I'm not sure why they acted like they don't know where this came from and he needed some kind of document and now he got clarity on some shit. Show this motherfucking document because I ain't never seen that damn document. But let's go ahead and continue. But yes, you're right. You're right, Samba.
Let you just email me when you send back your document signed. Just email me with the address that you want to be put there because that's where basically your pay stub quote unquote is going to go and all that.
Okay. Sounds good. I don't have any questions like off the top of my head, but if you have anything you like, you want to highlight that may not be obvious, feel free.
Yeah, I can just go over them real quick. We can do a quick run through with them real quick. So which one do you have?
Do that, before you guys do that, I had one question for you, Shakem. That way we can get this out the way. Okay. Are you definitely coming on the 6th or are you coming on the 7th? Because we need to know. That way we can block out the Airbnb for you. If not, we have to have that information tonight because Danny is like, we got to get that tonight. So now you guys hear where I am saying to him, we need to have travel plans because Danny wants to take the Airbnb off the market. And in order for him to do that, he needed to have travel plans from Shakem. Okay. That is not coming from me. I do not have control over Danny. I do not have control over their Airbnb. This is Breaking the Culture's boyfriend. Okay. So again, Breaking the Culture is the one that would be talking, that has told me this shit. This came. Right, Miss Murph. Yes. No, you didn't misunderstand. That was actually correct. We were talking, and sometimes we use the wrong terms when we're talking on these panels, right? So we might say something like, employee. But the reason why she keeps trying to say that, and she has said that, and I've said that too, is because we wanted to make it very clear to Shakem that he was not going to be a partner in the business. The reason why is because Breaking the Culture literally did not want to work with Shaquem. I was vouching for Shaquem. I really thought that he would be a great partner in this program and what we were trying to do. But she had no intentions of working with him at all. And so, and I said, well, you know what? I'll take him under my wing, right? And I'll just bring him in as a contractor. He can come in and, he can come in and do what he does. And she was okay with that. Like she completely, actually, she was fine with it as long as she knew that I was taking him under my wing. That's literally what she said. And she said that to him. So I'm not sure why they both acting like they don't understand and don't remember these conversations and how they conveniently can't come up with these recordings all of a sudden. Like, where is the recordings, Breaking? You got them in your possession. So I'm not sure why you can't just pull them up like I'm able to and just hand them over. Like, there you go. And send me a copy while you at it. Came from her, not from me. This came from Breaking the Culture because she was talking to her man. Okay. But again, because Breaking the Culture did not want to work with Shaquem, which you guys will hear in a few minutes, I had to bring him in under me. And so therefore, no two tones. I wasn't opposed to that. Breaking the Culture and I, that's actually on one of our Zoom calls. Her and I, where we were talking about the structure, the business structure, Shaquem, whether we were going to pay, what that pay would be, those kinds of things. Those are all on Zoom calls. That's why I'm like, I don't know why she won't just release that. Probably if she releases it, then she has to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, she doesn't want to tell the truth because her and I both came up with that. That wasn't something I said, no, girl, I'm going to only pay him. Like it wasn't like that at all. In actuality, we had talked about an hourly rate and said that we're not even sure whether that would be enough or whether that both of us were saying that. Like we didn't know whether it would be enough or what it would be because we didn't know what we would be making. Like how could we come up with a dollar amount for real if we don't even know if we're going to make $20, right? That's what I'm saying. Like that was kind of jumping the gun. So both of us had said that and had talked about that. But in the long run, some of the things we were looking to do in the long run was one of the things was to pay him. And, if he did get paid, it may have been like a 20%, 80% thing. So we both split 80% and then he would get 20%. But I thought that might have been a little bit too high, to be honest, because again, we didn't know what we would be making. And these were all conversations we were looking to have with an attorney. Okay. These are the parts that she's missing telling y'all too, because all of those conversations are in the Zoom calls that she is in possession of. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of this context and stuff that you guys are questioning and you guys don't understand are all in the Zoom calls that she won't release. So she needs to release those Zoom calls and make sure that they're released unedited. Make sure that they are not edited and they're not cut and they're not twisted and all that stuff. Don't do any of that. Just drop them motherfuckers online. Just do it. Just go with it, girl. Go with it. But, let's see if she actually does that. But anyway, we're almost to the part where I know we're going to talk about this money. Or I was explaining this to him on this video. But let's go ahead and continue.
Yeah, I'll be there on the 6th.
You're 100% sure because they would end up missing money if they block this out and then you're not able to come. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay. So we just wanted to make that clear.
Right, yeah, because he was asking me today, because he just wanted to make sure, he's like, are we blocking out those days or not? Because I have to pull them off of our Airbnb calendar, so that way we're not, like, someone doesn't book it. But if you can't do the 7th.
Grand Rising, Alan, I appreciate you being in the building. Shout out to you. And a Nova Real Show, I appreciate you as well. Black Einstein Productions, I appreciate you. You said little bathroom sector. No. You said at this point, Binary, you're just an unpaid participant. You know it. Binary always up in here double dutching with
Everybody hit that like
shit.
button. 41
You
in the
said, Ghost,
clouds.
that's
Make
not
sure
a
y'all hit
bad
the
thing.
like.
That's a
Hit
very bad
that
thing.
like.
sir.
Hit
But let's
that like. I'm
continue.
about to hit y'all with a timer. I'm about to hit y'all with a timer, man. Hit that damn like button. I'm gonna give y'all 10 seconds. I'm gonna hit y'all with the timer. Hit the like button. Hit the like. Hit the like. Hit the like. I need at least 10 more likes up in here. It's like 42 people in the clouds. 10 more likes in here. Let's go. Come on. Y'all playing. Y'all playing around. Y'all being real thottish with them likes. Right, my opinion? I'm going to need them to get them likes up. I'm going to hit y'all with this timer real quick. Let me hit y'all with this timer because y'all playing with me. Y'all are definitely playing with me tonight. Okay, I ain't gonna do y'all like that. Y'all hit them likes. I appreciate it. All right, okay, let's go ahead and continue with the show. Let's go ahead with the show. Shout out to y'all, all my loungers, for being in the building. Let's continue.
Which I know you said you can, but if something were to arise and you can't, just try to let me know by the end of the week so that we can just make sure that we don't block those days off. Because I want to block it off now because that area does book up quick. Especially with spring coming. And if you can't, but you still want to shoot, we can always push it out. The photographer is available the week of it was the 20 something. He said, let me see. He was available after that. Let me just double check. Okay.
So Nova, I appreciate you, but actually this is the Zoom call is on my computer. It belongs to me, and I had their consent to record. So therefore, I can absolutely show this by law. I looked this up. This was something that I looked up a while ago, and I ran it by an attorney. And yes, I can absolutely show these calls and these Zoom calls because they belong to me. So yes, I can show them. But shout out to you for concern.
Okay, so he was also available the weekend of the 20th. So it would be the 20th, 21st, and the 22nd. He's also available that weekend, and he wouldn't have a problem coming up and shooting. And he wouldn't charge us really much shit to do it. So it could be either or weekend. Just let me know if you can by, I would say, Wednesday night. You're muted.
Oh, okay. I'm like, okay, yeah. So, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I looked over it briefly.
I knew that wasn't you. I knew that wasn't.
I guess like when it comes to the payment part, were you saying that
you can block them?
is there like a direct deposit form somewhere in here, or?
So no,
we haven't even
signed the contract.
Two Tones, I have no idea. You said, is there another channel T-Pre is reading these comments from? Okay, so this is a video I did the other day. I did a Zoom video the other day for you guys to show you guys that. So I'm reading those comments from that show. That's why you can't see those comments. So okay. All right, let's go ahead and continue.
So once you sign the contract, it's just the non-compete. So this isn't even your pay. This has nothing to do with your pay at all.
But that's going to be a separate,
totally different thing, and that will come with your W-4, and that can be discussed. But these are just the non-compete and the NDA. That's all it is. Basically, I can just run through them really quick. It would be completely separate, but I can't give you the pay and stuff until you sign these because say for instance, you say no, but then we bring someone else on, and then you're like, well, shit, they was offering me X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Now it's not, it infringes on the non-compete. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, and that's just the legality of it, because you're actually getting paid. Like, this isn't like you get paid if we get paid. No, you're getting paid. You're gonna get paid. So because you're actually.
So me and Shakim are not okay again, but he definitely needs to take a look at this, all this evidence, and take a look again, sir, at these fake documents and shit that he's receiving, because yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, but yeah, we not cool. And Stefan was really upset the other day when he found out that Shakim was still a mod in my chat. I hadn't taken his mod stick yet. Okay, Stefan, I have taken his mod stick now. Okay, so both of y'all niggas is in the doghouse. Okay, just to let y'all know. Okay. Stefan was upset that Shakim still had a mod stick. He ain't got no mod stick no more. Okay, Stefan. So, okay. But anyway, let's continue, guys. I'm trying to get to this part where we talk about this money, because I'm telling you, these niggas is not going to lie and act like they don't know nothing about this fucking money. We're not going to do that.
Contractor. So you're contracting your services to us. So this is to protect you as well, which you'll see once you read it and you go through it. But, and again, if there's any questions that you have with it, or things that you're like, well, I don't know, don't feel like you can't ask or anything. Definitely ask, because you're putting your signature to this.
Now, before we go any further, Shakim, I'm actually glad that you're here, right? Because I'm very confused about why you are so confused in regards to this money, in regards to payment, in regards to how, payment was supposed to be distributed and all this stuff, if and when we got to some actual money in the podcast, because this conversation was had in this Zoom call. So why now, what I'm confused about now is why you're coming off to the public like you never knew this and you never understood where all this came from when we had this conversation all together. But we're going to go ahead and. So now I know why you're coming off confused, and it's because Drea is secretly behind the scenes showing you some type of alleged document and saying that that document is coming from me. And I've never seen this document, Shakim. I've never created any such document. I don't know anything about this document. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what she's talking about. But the only reason I know about this document now is because y'all were talking about it briefly on her show. And you're saying, now you appreciated her sending you this document. I'm like, what document? What document are you talking about? I've never had a document. There was never any document created between me and her about you in regards to any payments. So please show me this alleged document and show evidence that she got it from me. Show evidence that I created that document, because that's not the case at all. At all. Continue with that. Again, I understand you being upset in regards to the conversation that I had with Breaking the Culture, okay? I talked with you about that. I gave you full context of that conversation, and I've taken full responsibility. So I'm not really sure what else you want, but I also particularly don't understand why and where this confusion allegedly is coming in. But we're going to go ahead and play this.
You know what I mean? You're binding yourself to something. So definitely, I always say no question is a dumb question. But I'll just run through them. So if we go through the non-compete, it lets you know that you're being employed by us for the position of a sub co-podcaster. So basically, you're just the third party to our podcast. In addition to that, you would cover any position or responsibility that we all agree to. And we have to all agree to it, and it has to be in writing. So if we contract you to make t-shirts for us, we would have to add that into the contract.
So again, everything that we would subcontract out to him would have been fully in writing, okay? That means that if he was supposed to be paid for such and such, that would have been in writing, okay? And it would have been signed by both parties, and it would have been registered, everybody would have understood it, it would have been completed, it would have been talked over with a lawyer, all of that stuff would have occurred, okay? So where are all these things that I allegedly created and all these documents of stuff that I put on paper and I've signed and I've said I agree to, and this is what I am doing? Where are these documents at? Show this. Show where this stuff is in writing. Show. And where it came from me. Show that, please, by all means. I hope you have not tried to forge my name on anything, sweetheart. You're gonna have a big
I'm glad
problem.
you said that too, Binary, because we did have a conversation clearly, because I am, we were talking about starting a podcast. So we had multiple conversations prior. Okay. It's funny because she has a copy of that Zoom call. I don't have a copy of that one. She has a copy of the original Zoom call between me and her where we discussed all of this stuff. Will she show it? I doubt it, because she knows it'll corroborate everything that I'm saying. You said this stuff, hey Spottum, you said this stuff is feeling more and more scripted by the day, but let's continue. Nope, not scripted at all. You said, Ray, I thought that the line was crossed already between T-Pre and Breaking the Culture. I don't know if Ray is in here or not, but he's blocked in my chat. So
John P. and let me talk about exactly what they're talking about, exactly how they're talking about it, and it breaks it down, then obviously that's confusing. You can't use, like, if we're using certain music, like, not obviously things that are copywritten, but like but just to break it down,
I'm trying to
it lets you know that you are our
guys.
contractor, we're your client, basically. So in a sense, it's like, you're bringing the service and we're your client. Trying to see what there might be that you need to know that you wouldn't common sensely know. You know confidential information, obviously. Anything that's confidential of ours, you can't disclose it. And then vice versa for us. You can't disclose your
idea. I never came up with any of this stuff. This is all from her. But let's go ahead and continue with this video.
Once to say tomorrow, I don't want to do this. You have that right. You just need to put it in written notice, and we will do the same. Governing law of New York right now is the governing place where all of the rules and regulations go by New York state law.
So unfortunately, Ms. Murph, Ray has been blocked in this chat. He got blocked. Show the video, but you guys read it.
My bad, y'all.
Isn't she out here saying that I already knew exactly how much I was going?
Hold on, let me go back.
Listen, we all try to be like, and we were just saying that. We were just like, yo, we just trying to make this shit boom and just go what we can with it.
Right.
We're really like, what were you thinking though? Like pay wise, like granted, we don't really know obviously how much is gonna bring in right away because we have to fucking do it and see what happens.
But
Right.
wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. Isn't she out here saying that I already knew exactly how much I was going to pay Shakem, and this is what T-Pre came up with? But on this Zoom
Everybody
call,
listen.
Something else is coming out.
Everybody listen.
Let's continue though. Let's continue.
But once we start getting paid,
because see, we're not going to continue with the narratives. We're going to go with the facts. Okay. Own students as bait and said this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem speaking up on
the weekend of 20th. So it would be the 20th, 21st, and the 22nd. He's also available.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I looked over it briefly.
I knew that wasn't you. I knew that was.
I guess like when it comes to the payment part,
when
you're saying that
you can block them.
Is there like a direct deposit form somewhere in here, or?
So no,
we haven't even
signed the contract. So once you sign the
contract,
sign this part. The non John P. and let me talk about exactly what they're talking about, exactly exactly how they're talking about it, and it breaks it down.
Hold on,
And
my
obviously
bad, guys. Let me find that part again. I lost that part.
you
I
can't-
fast forwarded by mistake. Let me find that part one more time. I'm sorry, guys.
can't use like if disclose confidential information about our podcast.
I'm actually going to share this screen real quick. Okay, so it was 18 with
Like I can only solve so many problems in 8 hours. So yeah, like, but nah, I ain't gonna quit on y'all.
Listen, and technically you're not obligated. You don't want to fucking do it, just say I don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
and I was trying to dupe him.
And technically you're not obligated. You don't want
and NDA contracts. Once we know how much we are paying him, we can add his payment. So that has been debunked. Let's continue.
what you agree to for pay, what your hours are.
Well, hold on. Let me play that part again because that part actually does show where she said how much she actually talked about NDA contracts. Once we know how much we are paying him, we can add his payment. Okay, so on here, guys, is an email that she sent on Monday, April 18th, and this was showing the two contracts that she sent to him that night, which was the NDA and the non-compete, okay? And then she said, hey, here is Shakem's non-compete and NDA contracts. Once we know how much we are paying him, we can add his payment, okay? So this was the day after this Zoom call that you guys are watching, all right? So that has been debunked. Let's continue. So in other words, there's no way I would have known already what he was going to get paid and all this other stuff. And there's no way I could have changed it later because we didn't even know what we were paying. We didn't even know what we were going to be making. What is she talking about? What could I have changed?
What you agree to for pay, what your hours are, what hours you're required to work, what days you're required to work. You're not obligated to shit until you actually sign that. And even then, technically, you're not obligated. You don't want to fucking do it. Just say, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? You can just tomorrow wake up and be like, I don't want to do it. We're not going to be like, let's fix our sport because you quit our podcast. No, we're not going to do that to you. I'll even put that in the contract. Like if you decide you want to quit, we're not going to fuck with you. You can quit at any time. But
I'm telling y'all, I'll be about to quit my job every day. Like every day, I'm 2.5 seconds away from quitting my job. So
all of us, listen, all of us, bro.
Me too.
We could just stand this shit.
Because I work for
life changing.
I work for the CDC now, and I have to learn like.
So do I. I work.
So you do?
I do the COVID. I'm doing a COVID reform program.
Okay. You might know like my manager, William Scott, and like some of the higher up people. Then like I can just say, like, yeah, this makes sense, or this is in the right ballpark, or oh, this is definitely too low, or
came up with. But on this Zoom call,
what were you thinking though? Like pay wise, like granted, we don't really know obviously how much it's gonna bring in right away because we have.
All right, guys. So we are at the part now, okay, where these two fools were saying that they don't know how much, they don't understand this whole thing and what happened with this pay and all this other stuff, right? Like they were so lost about all this stuff. But let's go ahead and listen to these fools have this conversation about pay, okay? And then again, they are going, and now the proof and the evidence is here, and now the burden of proof is on them. They are going to have to show me and show the sector where I changed any fucking thing. And I'm talking about you better produce evidence that motherfucking document came from me, bitch. You better produce that. Produce that shit. Let's go, Drea. You got your time is ticking.
Like I can only solve so many problems in 8 hours. So yeah, like, but nah, I ain't gonna quit on y'all.
The next
Listen, we all trying to be
like,
we were just saying that. We were just like, yo, we just trying to make this shit boom and just go what we can with it.
Right.
We're really like, what were you thinking though? Like pay wise, like granted, we don't really know, obviously, how much it's gonna bring in right away because we have to fucking do it and see what happens.
Oh, but
Right.
wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. Isn't she out here saying that I already knew exactly how much I was going to pay Shakem, and this is what T-Pre came up with.
He smoked.
But on this Zoom call, something else is coming out. Okay, let's continue though. Let's continue.
But once we start getting paid,
Because see, we're not going to continue with the narratives. We're going to go with the facts. Okay, so let's continue. And don't get mad because I can actually present facts. Don't get mad at that. Okay, be careful what you say. And while you're out here saying stuff, and then I got facts to prove you as a liar.
hey, like, what are you looking for pay wise? Like, how much time and investment you trying to put into this shit? Like,
Yeah, so I think like as far as like how much time I'm trying to put in, I could put in like at least on a part-time level, you know, like we start off doing 2 shows a week. I think that that's fine. I don't really have a way to quantify like what I would expect for pay just because I don't really know how much time it's really going to take. If we're talking about just recording online most of the time and I'm not having to travel to New York like every week,
Right.
then I think that would change like what I would expect to be paid. So I would just say like you can just make me an offer. And then like I can just say, you know, like, yeah, this makes sense, or this is in the right ballpark, or oh, this is definitely too low, or you know, too
so what
much.
if we say like 20 an hour starting out? Like once the podcast
Ain't
is
that
up
a
and going, and we
motherfucking
have,
bitch? So was it me that offered $20 an hour? Was it me, guys? Let's rewind that a little bit again. Let's play that again.
What I would expect to be paid. So I would just say like you can just make me an offer, and then like.
So we got this nigga saying make him an offer on video, and then her making an offer on video. That, mind you, her and I did talk about together. Okay. Now, if it was coming from me and it was all me and it was only me, then how come I wasn't saying it? How come I wasn't in this Zoom call with Shakem by myself? Why did I need Drea there if it was all on me? This is what I don't understand about why she's trying to tell motherfuckers that this is all me. And Shakem is like, yeah, it was all TP. And I don't understand. And what's going on? And this is the first time I heard about this. What, sir? Okay. Let's go ahead and continue.
I can just say, you know, like, yeah, this makes sense, or this is in the right ballpark, or oh, this is definitely too low, or you know, too
so what
much.
if we
So
say like 20 an hour starting out? Like once the podcast is up and going and we have hit our first check, obviously we know, you know, it's going to take at least 60 days to get to the first check. You got to go through your first 30 days, and you know, when it comes to social media.
Now, I want you guys to hear her tell us that it would take us around 60 days to get the first check. This was in April when we had this conversation. Okay. So this is what we were expecting. We were expecting to make money off of this podcast right away. We were expecting to put in that work and start making money based off of what Drea was telling us, based off of the proposal that she presented, based off of the podcast deal that she presented. So I can understand why Shakem felt like this was a deal, because this was a deal to me as well. Okay. I mean, based off of what she presented. So again, breaking the culture. How are you not responsible for this? How are you clear and absolved of all responsibility when you were the one that presented the podcast deal to begin with? And you were the one that broke down and put down all this information about how the podcast was supposed to go. You had the idea going, and you and I talked together about the structuring of the business, how we were looking to structure the business and to talk about this with an attorney. We talked about who the attorney was going to be. All of this stuff was on the Zoom call. So why you're trying to absolve yourself of this whole thing, I am so not understanding. And I still don't understand why you brought this whole thing up to begin with, ma'am. Because literally, you are the reason why we're talking about this now to the sector. I never wanted to embarrass you like this to the sector and put you out there to the sector like this and put any of this information out there. I never wanted to do that. You decided to jump out the window all weirdly talking with Stargate about this on your panel. And I was not going to let you just use your white privilege to lie on me, bitch. You got me fucked up. No, I'm going to speak facts, and I'm going to have to present facts and present evidence, because you're not going to just lie on me. You're not going to make me look like some scamming ass, weird ass bitch that was just out here being all ghetto and not doing right, and I don't know shit about business. I know a lot about business. I'm not a business like I'm a guru. Of course not. I don't think there's anybody that is except Elon Musk. But other than that, sweetheart, you're not going to get over on me when it comes to this kind of stuff. And there was a lot of things you tried to, and it wasn't going to work. And now you're out here trying to disparage me because you look stupid. That is not my fault. So again, where is your evidence of any of this stuff? Don't go out here secretly giving out documents to Shakim and all this other stuff and trying to present those documents to him as if I gave them to you or as if I created them. You're not going to do that. I want you to show proof that you got it from me, because like I said, you should be able to forward that document right to him from me if I sent it and I created it, because you're saying this document is for me and that I was supposed to do this and I was supposed to do that and that I've changed all this stuff. Show where I have created such a thing or that I have agreed to such a thing. Show that. Show evidence of that. And I'll wait. And now I might subscribe just to wait for that. I really don't want to hear your shit, but I might subscribe just to wait for that fuck shit. Because I really want to see you present that. And that's facts. You said whoever came up with the name A Shout Into the Void needs to be relieved of duty or designated for assignment. She 100% came up with that name, and she actually admits to coming up with that name. You said the facts are the facts, and that's facts, Alan. The facts are just the fucking facts. They are what they are. And I'm not going to, ma'am, I'm not going to let you pretend that these are not the things that actually happen in this conversation. I don't have to jump on panels and yell and scream and holler back and forth with you stupid bitches. I could just show the shit that y'all talked about. Like, y'all dumb as fuck for letting the fucking sector see this shit while you motherfuckers try to go on these little panels knowing you, like I said, y'all want to come up and talk when you motherfucking know I'm not there. Like, of course you know I'm not there. Talking about I'm welcome here and all this. Bitch, you know I'm not there. Like, you could have called or text or anything. The same way you text me and asked me if I wanted a copy of such and such is the same way you could have been like, bitch, do you want to hit this panel? Like, you could hit this panel and argue and claim and state your argument. Because I damn sure would have been like, yo, show this fucking document. And show the evidence that you got that from me. Or show the evidence that I actually created that. Or that I agreed to this. Show that. And then I would ask Shakim, how stupid are you that you would believe some such shit without evidence? Or are you still in your JW mode? Like, what the fuck is going on? Because that was just dumb for you to fall for that. When you, sir, were part of all these calls. You were right here. No, you were not part of the business structure calls because the intentions were never to make you a partner in the business. Because Breaking the Culture did not want to be a partner of yours. And she has told you and the public that multiple times. So I'm not sure why y'all are still confused. But we're going to unconfuse you two stupid bitches tonight. And again, I'm not going to keep addressing you dumb motherfuckers. Y'all either going to look at this motherfucking evidence or y'all going to be like Carrie Ann and be out here still talking shit and still doing dumb shit and acting like she ain't seen the fucking facts. Like, that's just what it is. You're going to look as stupid as her motherfucking ass at this point. And that's just what it is. So, and yes, it was doomed from the fucking start. Shout out to T Streets. Let's go ahead and continue.
Yeah, they always get that lag month, if you will. So we would, if we're launching in May, we know our first paycheck isn't coming to whatever the pay dates are. But we were thinking like 20 an hour just starting out. And that's just podcast.
That's just the podcast part. And
right, we're not talking anything else. Okay, right.
We're not talking about we're not talking about anything else because there's some other perks with this. So maybe we should tell him that too. So I want you guys to hear this part too, because again, like I said, where is this whole thing of me snaking him and taking from him and taking money and trying to take stuff and all this? Where is that at? And again, Shakem, why did you just fall for that? How come you didn't just ask questions? You didn't push back on any of that? Hey, get the fuck out of here. You were just looking for a reason to fall out with a bitch, nigga. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, so like for instance, but stand on that shit. Like if you really don't want to fuck with somebody, or if you really just want to fall out with somebody, stand on that. Don't be sitting here like, oh, I'm not fucking with you because of this money situation, and I don't know what. I can't believe this. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here with that fuck shit. Fuck out of here with that shit. Because we're going to build our own website. We actually are going to do that. So you don't have to be concerned about that. But
that's just a lot of work for you. And we know, I was like, yo, if he build websites, he got
I don't know if I wanted to put that on you. So that's something we can actually do. But if so y'all can see, we told him in this call that he wasn't going to be doing the website and why he wasn't going to be doing the website. So why is she acting like, oh my God, she was trying to take from you and all the work you were supposed to be doing, the website and everything else. Like, why are they spinning these dumbass narratives like this? Like as if I don't have these dumb derelict bitches on fucking Zoom together talking about all of these issues. Like, are you serious right now? Are you kidding me right now? If we let you do free advertising, okay, on our podcast, free advertising on there of your merchandise, also you get up to a certain amount of money. That's exactly what it looks like, Alan. I mean, y'all see it. The bitch is taking sneak pictures of me with this man's camera and then trying to show y'all and changing the pictures and changing my dynamic on the picture and different shit like that and trying to show y'all these things. Like clearly she was trying to set me up and set up Shakem, and Shakem he's being lulled to sleep by this white witch and not even paying attention to what this bitch is saying and doing. He just falling for it. Like, hello, bro. You're not seeing that she just lied to you again? Like, she literally just set you up again, bro? Wow. You didn't catch that? You should have asked questions, Shakem, for sure, about this document, alleged document. You would get... So understand, make a change, that the reason why Shakem and I had expected to possibly be getting paid within 30 days is because of the sponsorships that she told us about. So that was the reason why we expected this type of pay within 30 to 60 days or so. So yeah, you're right. It is absolute cap because there was never going to be any type of movement of such. But yeah, that's literally what she said. So that's the reason why we were thinking that. But let's continue with this. 100% of the profits of your merchandise. Now, say you started making you became like a Rockefeller. I mean, my nigga, you don't have to give me a couple of hours. You know what I mean?
We're gonna get rich, Shakem. We gotta leave the small timers in the back. But you
had to give me a couple hours. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're making up to a certain amount of money, this is your merchandise. Sell your merchandise and take your money, take your profit. See what I'm saying? Like,
we would
we're
never
actually
mess with
doing the
that.
same things. Like, I have my own merchandise that I'm going to be selling. You know, Andrea's got her own merchandise that she's going to be selling. I'm not sharing those profits. She's not sharing her profits. You know what I mean? So that
you know, because we would.
So yes, Stefan, that was a conversation that we had prior to this Zoom call. I just said that. I showed you guys also where Drea actually had a Zoom call set up for us. And then we had another Zoom call prior to that. And yes, me and her had our own conversations naturally because it was her podcast deal that she brought to me, but both of us would have been partners in the podcast. So clearly, both of us would have had conversations with each other prior to talking to anybody else. So yes, we definitely did talk about money. We talked about possibly how much we would pay per hour. It was not per Zoom, not per podcast. It was per hour. And we talked about that on here. She actually says $20 per hour. So you must not be paying attention. But yeah, like Alan said, pay attention, Steph.
Give you a monthly reporting of what the back website made or the merchandise.
Exactly.
We'll give you what the merchandise is.
Like, you'll know what you've made. We're not ever going to
know.
You know,
you will never, like, you will always be able to look at your shit and say, okay, this is the back office.
This is what I got. This is what I'm making. And it would be good for you because I think you already have a store or something like that anyway. So if you're already selling things there and then you're on the podcast, you're getting that exposure. You've got those people buying your products from, why not have some multiple, you understand what I'm saying? Like websites where you're actually, you know, getting paid.
You're promoting
and your promotion is for free. Like, you can't beat that. I think
you can run on the Instagram. Like, we'll have Instagram ads and stuff like that running, like professional ads running. So you can always just put your shit in the Instagram ads, you know, add it to the rotation. Like, if you're selling your shirts, add them bitches. If you sell, you know, a pack of bogeys, add them bitches. I don't know.
Now, mind you guys, Shakem was supposed to be running the Instagram, okay? The Instagram was a channel that she already had. She already had this Instagram prior to even meeting us, right? And the Instagram had been, it had already had the followers that it had. So she said that she already had that Instagram. She just wanted to make it the Shout Into the Void one. And then, you know, Shakem can run the Instagram. So he had full access to that Instagram, right? And then one day, one of us woke up. I think it was me. I had went to look at something that we were supposed to be posting on there, and I couldn't access it. And so I called Drea, right? And she couldn't access it either. It took us about 30 minutes to get back into that Instagram. And that was the same day, I think it was. It was either the same day or the day after. It was a couple days. Within a couple of days was when Shakem went live talking the shit about the Shout Into the Void. So come to find out, Shakem was really the one that was dealing with the Instagram. He's the one that changed that Instagram password. And we had to, thank God Drea did have two-factor authentication on it. So she was able to get that shit changed back. And it was crazy. Like, it was crazy. He keeps claiming he never did that, but there was nobody else that had access to that Instagram. Nobody else had access to that. So that is crazy, but that is something that Shakem was going to do. And that was one of the things that he was on behalf of the Shout Into the Void that he was supposed to be doing. But yeah, he really didn't have anything to put up anyway, because we weren't actually recording that much. We had a couple of recordings. Me and Drea had a couple of recordings, but it was after Shakem had did that live. That was when all of a sudden she had all this fervor to do that. And I've got the emails to prove that shit. But literally, yes, it was never like she had no drive to be barely recording like that. Like every so often we could record and, try to put something together. But it was barely. It was so very little. And it was really, she claimed it was because of what she was dealing with CPS. It might be true. I don't know what's true and what's not with her anymore. But all I know is that's what I thought, and I did try to give her leeway on that. But this bitch is crazy. Well, let's go ahead and finish this out, guys. I'm not going to be much longer because really all I wanted y'all to hear was her telling him about this pay shit and about this other dumb shit, about these contracts and whatnot.
Or whatever.
And him acting like he don't know what's going on now. And they on live acting like they don't know what's going on. But y'all both on this Zoom call talking about this shit.
If you want to promote your YouTube, your personal YouTube channel, you can do that as well. Add it to the rotation. And like she said, anything that you make up to, obviously, if you turn into a Rockefeller, we need cuts, so we pulling down the
cut. Block you crazy. I'm gonna need some cut.
But you can keep your own shit. Yeah, you can keep your own profit. So we wouldn't mess with your profit. Podcasting, it would be $20 an hour if you're cool with that. If not, we can negotiate that. And then obviously, if you're doing additional things within, then obviously you get paid for whatever you're doing. We would just negotiate.
So again, how the hell does neither one of them know about this when they are on this Zoom call talking about this? Tell me how I changed anything later and how that means I would have had to, if I changed it, right? And there was some alleged terms that were changed, then he would have had that in writing. He would have had that from me, and we would have clearly talked about that. There's nothing I could have changed behind the scenes or with anything. And if I did that, Drea, then show the evidence of it. Show proof that I changed all this stuff and said, no, we're going to pay him this and we're going to do this to him and then we taking this and we're not doing that. Show that I did that and show that it came from me. Now that burden of proof is on you, bitch. Because like I said, you don't get to just say whatever the fuck you want to. And then I'm out here, I'm supposed to just let you just say whatever you feel like it. And I'm just supposed to go off into the corner and off into the night and just, let you just do whatever you want. T-Pre ain't going no motherfucking where, bitch. I was on this scene way before you. I'm not going any motherfucking where. And what you're going to do is you're going to stop fucking lying on a bitch. So again, show this motherfucking proof that this shit came from me and that I wanted to change these terms that we talked about on this Zoom call that y'all act like y'all don't know nothing about. And I don't want to, I've been evasive about talking about, see you dumb, stupid motherfuckers are always listening to the trolls in the sector. The trolls in the sector will tell y'all bitches any motherfucking thing and have y'all just saying any goddamn thing. Jumping out windows with no motherfucking cape. Jumping out windows with no motherfucking parachute. No nothing. Just saying any goddamn thing. Looking dumb as fuck. Saying one thing with a forked tongue, and then I can turn around and show the sector what you really said. Now, speaking of what you really said, let's go to one more thing. Because again, we're going to see if it was you that was really vouching for Shakim so much, right? You that was claiming that, you really had this nigga back like that and that you really wanted to make sure he was good and you wanted to make sure that Shakim was straight, right? So terribly that you didn't understand why I would do him so bad. Why I would do him so fucking dirty, right? You didn't understand. Hold on a second. We're going to get right to it.
And the time is right with T-Pre.
All right. So we're going. Is it really so? So Breaking the Culture has said that she has been vouching for Shakim and I was throwing Shakim under the bus and she's got all these receipts, right? Well, let me show you guys a couple of receipts. I'm going to be silent from here on out for the rest of the video. I ended up not being silent, guys, but I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit because I want to read this, but I want you guys to see that I'm going into her email from my email. And I'm showing you guys from her email, okay? Like, I'm not just out here just telling you guys something or screenshotting something and then showing it to you and saying, yeah, this is from Breaking the Culture. No, I'm actually showing you actual evidence that this came from her. Okay, this is what I want her to do with these alleged documents that she claims that came from me. Okay, that's what I want her to do. Show that these documents came from me. Like, I want her to show this like this. Same way. Now, we're going to go ahead and read this shit. Let me go ahead and move forward a little bit because I end up reading it saying, go by my word. We are actually showing facts. So I'm going to prove that. I'm going to show you guys that now. So this is an email that came from Breaking the Culture of Silence. This was on June 22nd, 22. And it went out to Sometimes I Get Carried Away. So she says, hey, girl. So basically, this is what happened. T. Pre hired Shakem. She made it clear he was her employee because I didn't even want to work with him at first because I didn't want this to happen. I agreed knowing he was her responsibility. Shakem from day one never gave us travel plans. He would show up to Zoom calls late. So again, she says, I agreed knowing he was her responsibility. Okay, let's continue though. Did not pay attention the one time we did record with him. We told him from the door if he came and wanted a place to stay that he needed to get us travel plans by a certain time, that he never did it. The day before they were due to arrive, he canceled at 10 p.m. We did not know until the day of that he was even coming. Shakem signed his contract. We didn't make him. He did not pay for anything for me and T because his card declined and I ended up paying instead. And he and Photon did not reimburse me at all on top of me cash apping for my drinks, thinking he was paying. He didn't even give me that back, knowing I paid the bill, girl. He knew he didn't have I'm sorry, here, let me read this again. He knew he didn't have a shoot with us. It's all on my community tab. He let Sectors TV troll him, and boom, here we are. It's stupid, but hope this helped clear things up for you. And then she continues on and says, and this was on June 22nd, 22 at 12:31. And this is again from Breaking the Culture of Silence to Sometimes I Get Carried Away. So it doesn't. She sent these to Sometimes I Get Carried Away. She Breaking the Culture. I'm gonna go back and show you again because I want you to see that it's very clear that Breaking the Culture of Silence is sending these emails out. She sent them to Sometimes I Get Carried Away. So let me go ahead and go back again. I really want you to see that. I wanted that to be very clear who these emails came from. So it says on Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022 at 12:11 p.m., Breaking the Culture of Silence. Let me go ahead and make that bigger for y'all. Okay. Yep. So that's where it is. June 22nd, 2022 at 12:11 p.m. And it was from Breaking the Culture. And she wrote that to Sometimes I Get Carried Away. So Sometimes I Get Carried Away is at the bottom. And it's Breaking the Culture. But it's from Breaking the Culture to me. But yeah, this is from her. And let me go ahead and go on with this because I want you. And then she can. Oops, I'm sorry. But couldn't. Also, I even tried to find out what he wasn't working with everyone there. Hold on, guys. I'll clear things up for you. And then she continues on and says, and this was on June 22nd,
I hope you've seen that T
at
Streets
12:31.
that it came from
And this
Breaking
is
the
again
Culture.
from Breaking
And
the
if you
Culture
want,
of
I can
Silence
email a
to
copy of it to you.
Sometimes
All
I
I
Get
gotta do is
Carried
forward
Away.
it.
She says,
I
he
ain't
was
gotta
literally begging
change it or
me to
nothing. I'll just
record
forward
with
it to
us
you.
up until the day he made that video. I told him to ask T Pre, but she wanted to fire him or just use him sometimes, which he knew. She even said it herself in her own show. Photon didn't pay for anything. Shakim paid for him, and when the drink bill came, his card had declined, so he didn't even pay. I did for everyone there. T didn't count because she was my guest. And my dude made sure she was good with us. Whole time she was there. So how is she changing that story up now and acting like, oh my God, she was broke and Shakim, you had to pay for T-Pre and everybody there and all this other shit? Like how like my opinion said in her chat, like it really depends on who the hell these motherfuckers are talking to, how they tell their story. So they might tell the story one way over here talking to D. Durrell, and then they go over here and tell somebody else a totally different story. The only motherfucker who's been consistent with this fucking story is me. I'm the only one who has been fucking consistent with this fucking story. Down to the point where these dumb motherfuckers end up corroborating my story on the motherfucking Zoom call. They end up saying dumb shit and talking shit and doing this. But then when you play the Zooms, it shows everything I actually said. So who has been the only one consistent with this shit? These motherfuckers changed this fucking story more than these niggas changed their fucking underwear. Like, it's fucking crazy. He came to NY because he wanted to stunt on D. Durrell and Flacco. He knew he wasn't working with us in New York. He knew he wasn't working with us in NY because T told him he wasn't, because he waited till the day of. Shakim isn't rich by any means. If he made what he says he does, he would have complained about the price of rooms. Check my wall. He stayed in a shitty hotel in the projects of Manhattan. Like, stop, sir. He wasn't lied to about anything. He thought he could paint me out to lie, but couldn't. Also, I even tried to find out what his real issue is. And he says I lied. I'm like, about what? Like, huh? So again, breaking the culture. While you're on Ray Trigg's panel telling Shakim Ra that you have all these receipts and all this evidence of me talking shit about him and throwing him under the bus, and me not wanting to work with him, and me trying to throw him under the bus and make him like I have a problem with him, when you're telling the public that actually I was honest with him about not coming because of the late travel plans. I was honest with him about not being involved with the photo shoot because of the late travel plans, because this was an issue for you. Okay? And it goes to show that you said why he came and what you really felt about him and what your real feelings are. So, like, you're telling the public, like, you don't have no problems with him, you ain't got no issues with him, and you don't feel none of this stuff. But this is all the time. This is how you really have been feeling about Shakim. These are your real feelings about him. This is the things you said about him, not me. So again, I'm not understanding why you're telling Shakim that you don't have no beef with him and it was all my fault and I did him so dirty and I took advantage of him and I lied to him and I didn't want no parts with any of this stuff and I didn't want anything to do with him, when it was you that didn't want anything to do with him. Because like you said, she made it clear he was her employee because I didn't even want to work with him. That is what you said. And then you even went as far as saying at first, because I didn't want this to happen, which was him going live and talking shit about us. And then you said, I agreed, knowing, let's highlight it. I agreed, knowing he was her responsibility. So that is the reason, Shakim, why I did not try to bring you in on the branding, why I couldn't bring you into the podcast as a partner, because the other owner of the business, or at least the alleged owner who was supposed to be an owner of the business, did not want to work with you. And she made that very fucking clear to me, to you, and to other people as well. So with that being said, I don't know what else to tell you. All right, guys. So that's it. Like, I don't know what else to tell them either. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this is exactly why Shakim never became a partner in the business, because Breaking the Culture said she didn't want him to be a partner in the business. They are both very well aware of how much was supposed to be paid out, who was paying who, how it was going to be paid, and so forth. Both of them are very aware of all of these things because they were both in on these Zoom calls, okay? Finally, so since Shakim has now come out and publicly said that there is some alleged document that Breaking the Culture has shown him, I want to see this document because, again, Shakim, I am telling you, I have never seen this document. I don't know anything about a document. I was never presented a document. I never presented anyone with a document. I never presented you with a document. Okay, like none of that stuff has ever fucking happened. So while you're out here feeling some type of way and mad and angry over a document, sir, there was never a document. You literally just got duped by a witch. That's what happened. So I'm going to need you or one of y'all to present such alleged document. And again, ma'am, you better show evidence that that document came from me. I want you to show how that document came from me. Open up an email, open up a mail, open up something showing that T-Pre changed some document and then sent it to you and said, this is what's supposed to change. And I want you to, and this is what's going to be done. And this is my evidence of it. And boom, show that shit and show it came from my email. And that's it. We're done. I'm going to holler at y'all later. I 100% appreciate y'all all the time for coming in here. Shout out to everybody who is in the clouds. Make sure that you guys are hitting the like button or the dislike. It doesn't matter. Y'all can do whatever you want as long as I am getting that engagement. That really doesn't matter. But I truly appreciate y'all for being in the building. Again, shout out to y'all. And I will talk to you guys later. But again, we are about the receipts around here. We don't just get to say what we want and, you just believe me. No, I'm going to show you evidence of what I'm saying because I can back up what the fuck I'm saying. Okay. I don't have to lie. I don't have to make up shit. I ain't got to do none of that. I can back up what the fuck I'm saying here with these documents and with this information regarding a shout into the void. You are not going to keep lying about this, Drea. You need to take responsibility. And that's the part that gets me. It's so simple. You just literally need to take responsibility for your own shit. Like, that's it. Nobody had to go live. Nobody had to talk about this with the public and get you all embarrassed or any of that shit. You could have literally just walked clean away from this like both of us did. And that was it. Even if you wanted to have a conversation with me and Shakim, that could have happened. But how this all went down, it was unnecessary. And it's your fault, unfortunately. I'll talk to you guys later. I appreciate you guys. Peace, guys.